Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in to your new Jackrabbit Illustrated B-Team spin-off show.
Scared money don't make money.
That's right, folks. Scared money don't make money. The spin-off show from the B-Team with Ben and Brendan making their picks against the spread just like old times, with the addition of Alex Kenkel and his computer model that is featured weekly on JackrabbitIllustrated.com. As usual, the B-Team and all Jackrabbit Illustrated podcasts are live on the Jackrabbit Illustrated Facebook and Twitter pages, along with being live on the FCS Fans Nation YouTube channel. Also, if you don't catch us live, be sure to tune in on Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, or any major podcast outlet in between. As always, the B-Team is brought to you by our title sponsor, Kubota Dealers of South Dakota. If you need a tractor, utility vehicle, construction equipment, zero-turn motors, parts, service, and more, there's always a Kubota dealer near you with 8 locations across the great state of South Dakota. Stop in today and get yourself into some orange equipment. And we would also like to thank our segment sponsor, Cubbies, Sports Bar and Grill in downtown Brookings. If the Jacks are out of town and you need a place to watch them, head on down, get some Chislic cheese curds, beer, and burgers. And now, without further ado, scared money don't make money. All right, B-Team Mafia, what is up? Thanks for joining us again. Ben's in a bad mood. Alex and I are not. Dakota Mayhem can lick me where I pee because there's a timestamp on your comment that says 8 o'clock and we were started. So stick it in your ear. You too, Rev. Both of you can sit on it. That's how we're gonna start the show, with some aggression. All that. Yeah, you're keeping track poorly. You need a better clock because it says it gives us a timestamp when you comment.
I just have a little frustration with the Midco app. Just trying to watch the Jacks play basketball. It says that I'm not subscribed, but it also says that I'm subscribed. So they can't decide, and now I can't watch basketball. So
yeah,
a little frustrating.
You're not the only one who's had that problem.
I know.
And with the media deal we have, those things can't be happening. Like, you can't be doing that.
Yeah.
I guess I'm more forgiving if it was on ESPN Plus because you're getting a lot more exposure with it. So they need to do that, which is a shame. But you guys can say we weren't started at 8, but you're free to be wrong. That's fine. I'm not gonna spend the show arguing about it.
Weren't, but like the countdown started at 8 o'clock. So
yeah,
screw you guys.
Yeah, it's not, if it came across slow, that's StreamYard's fault. Don't be yelling at me. But yeah. Dan Furman says the Midco app has been glitchy so far this season for basketball. I haven't had issues with it personally, but I've heard a lot of reports of that being an issue. Hopefully that gets ironed out quickly. I was actually really impressed with the quality of the broadcast and having Midco personality like Brad Newman on for that. It was really good. So anyways, that's our story for that. But should we get into our picks?
Let's do that. We recapped all the games that we picked last week, and just a reminder, I went 5-3, Brendan went 5-3, and the computer went 5-3. The overall records, as it stands right now, are, I just want to make sure I got it right. I'm at 37, 43-2. Brendan is at 43, 41-2, and the computer is at 41, 30-2. So fade accordingly. Likely fade me at this point. I have a lot of work to do. I'm officially 8 picks. Is it 8? No, 6.
Yeah,
6 picks behind Brendan.
I think it's 6. You are still within striking distance at this point. But
it's going to be tough. I mean, the good thing is, though, it goes through the playoffs just like it did last year, all the way to the championship. So I've got a bunch of first round games and second round games to try to catch up. Rev, you can go ahead and try to make picks, but it's not easy when you have to pick every game. If I could just pick the games that I want to pick, that'd be fine. But anyway, so that's what our records are. the games we have this week, we've only got one out-of-conference game that we're picking. That is Elon going to Richmond, and the spread on that is a pick'em, and the total is 46. Alex, you ran the model on that. What does it say?
Yep, the spread is a pick'em. The computer says Richmond by a little over a field goal, so it will take the Spiders. I'd probably agree. I feel like for what we've seen from both teams this year, Elon's got a little bit higher ceiling but a lot lower floor, whereas Richmond's kind of been more steady. And I think crunch time here, playoff time, that's kind of what you need. Is you need to be consistent in your approach.
Yeah, and for people wondering why are you picking Elon at Richmond, they're not necessarily ranked teams. I don't disagree, but I was listening to Blue Bloods and we were talking about it. If Richmond or if Elon wins this game against Richmond, they'll only be 7-4, which at first glance is like that shouldn't get in with the CAA, and I agree. But the committee's going to look at it and go, they've got 3 ranked wins.
Because it's then ranked, not currently ranked.
Yes,
which is,
it's not
don't get me
currently
going
ranked.
on that
It's
tangent.
then
That's
ranked.
horrible, but
So, and oh man, you want to piss off Big Sky and MVFC fans? Let in a 7-4 CAA team after last year's debacle. So that's why we brought that up. We, I am hopefully going with Richmond since it's a pick'em. So I will take Richmond in this game because, like Alex said, they're the more consistent, steady force. Last time Elon pulled off a big upset, I think they stumbled immediately after that I think it was against NC Central. So I will go ahead and take Richmond, the Spiders on this one. And if they lose, I'm going to have to go burn Richmond to the ground.
I have confidence in Elon. I think that they keep it rolling after beating Delaware. And so hopefully I'll gain a pick on you here. The first Missouri Valley game of the week is not good. It's Western Illinois going to Indiana State. And it would be interesting if we had a stats guy. Well, I guess, Alex, you're pretty much our stats guy. But if you could quickly pull up well,
it's like shitting on him, right?
I'm saying
it'd be nice if we had a stats guy.
I'm saying
he
like
says
a
the guy with the
live
computer model.
like a live stats like poller.
Hey Jamie, pull that up.
Because it's not going to be easy for him to do this. But what I was going to ask is, when's the last time Indiana State was favored by 14.5 in any game? Well, we'll say a Valley game because they probably have some easy out of conference games. But
I don't know.
There's no way.
14. I don't know that offhand. The last time they were favored was against Murray State this year, and they lost.
That's a fun fact.
And they also lost against EIU, where they were also favored this year. So they are 0-2 when favored this year. But anyhow, you said 14.5.
Mm-hmm.
14.5 for the Trees. The model says 15 for the Trees. I think the Trees win. I don't think they win by quite that much. I could kind of see this going either way. I could see it being really close because Western knows this is their last shot at a Valley win. At the same time, you look at Western's recent results, they've quit. They're done. They're ready to be out of the Valley. They've lost 22 straight games, and they're ready to lose 23 and 24 and get the hell out of the MVFC.
Is this in Macomb or Terre Haute?
No, it's in Terre Haute.
Oh, I'll take the Trees. What, like Alex said, Western's completely given up. I don't see them making a push for a last hurrah. I think they're beaten down and broken. So give me the Trees on this one.
I was hoping you'd have faith in Western for some reason, but no, I'll also take the Trees. I think they've shown enough fight this year. I can see them winning by, 20 or something. So the only other unranked game in the Valley this week is Murray State going to Illinois State. This spread's bigger than I thought it would be. They have Illinois State favored by 17.5.
Model says Redbirds by 19, but I know for a fact the model does not know, and I know Vegas probably does not know.
Probably
Zach
not.
and Hexted out. We saw Tommy Rittenhouse firsthand. I don't want to badmouth the kid because he's a way better football player than I ever was, but Not a good quarterback. I think Illinois State wins. I don't see them winning by 3 scores. I just don't see that happening.
Could you pronounce Zach's last name again?
Annexstad?
That's close.
I thought you said Annexted last time.
Well,
is
he
that
did.
really?
I might
I
have.
thought you had looked it up and might have knew better than me. I mean, that's very possible. But
No,
I'm
don't
I think it's
assume that,
Annexted.
Brendan.
I'm pretty sure it's Annexstad.
Annexted, yeah. Good point on Annexted being out, and on that count, I'm going to try to be 3 for 3 in a row. Finish the season hot on Murray State games, and I'm going to take the Racers because I don't have a lot of faith in the Redbirds offense if they don't have Annexted.
Well, here's the deal. Even if they had Annexstad, I don't know that I would pick them. 17.5 is quite a bit for playing a Murray State team who's showed that they can stay in games. So, yeah, I'll definitely take Murray State with that news that he's out. Number 9, UNI goes to Missouri State, and UNI is favored by 5 on the road.
Model says UNI by 6, so Model is going to take the Panthers. As will I. UNI's weak point still is their secondary, much like another team we'll talk about here soon. But I still, and where I was going with that, Jordan Pacho, I don't know if this is Jacob Clark's job when he gets healthy. Jordan Pacho has played so well for the Bears. So I could see this being close, but I think UNI late in the season, push for a seed. I think UNI wins by a couple scores here. I'll agree with the computers.
On the one hand, I agree with the UNI pushing for a seed and all that stuff, but also it's UNI in position for a seed, and they haven't lost the game that they shouldn't yet. And it's on the road against a team that, honestly, I sort of expected that spread to be closer.
Did you?
Yeah, and I could see UNI peeking ahead to the NDSU game. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Bears at home on this one. I think they're going to, because I'm starting to believe in UNI again, and
This is
oh,
exactly when they let you down.
they're gonna let me down right now. The pallbearers at my funeral, so they can let me down.
Yeah, I am happy that you picked Missouri State because this is another game that'll get up on you. As Dan says, time to close the gap. Yes. UNI is going to do it for me. They're going to win by 7.
This is getting clipped. Oh, they better win. They better win by like 14.
Yeah, this is good.
I'm on Twitter.
That's 2 games I'm going to gain on you. All right. And let's see if we can get another one here. Number 15, UND goes to number 6, USD. And it's the little brother battle bowl. As Blue Bloods called it. Or no, it was
Heck
Seth
City.
and
Heck City.
It was
Sean and Joe.
Sean and Joe.
Wrong twice.
Yeah, my bad.
Blue Bloods.
My bad. Anyway, the Little Brother Bowl, USD is favored by 2.5 at home against UND.
Model
USD is only favored by 2.5.
That's correct.
Model says USD by 2.43, so they, by the slimmest of margins, are going to take the Postal Service. This is kind of a weird game because UND could turn on their offense at any moment. But with that said, they're on the road. USD's defense is really, really good. UND's defense is not good. So USD's offense that only puts up points against bad defenses will put up points. I think the Oats win by easily more than a field goal in this one. I think they win by like 10.
Yeah, this is a spicy meatball. Hey, that's a spicy meatball right here. This one. Are you kidding me? 2 points. USD at home against we can't play outside of our dome and have been on a putting skids in our underwear for the last 3 games. UND. Like, I can see where UND does turn it on and win this game, but USD is going for a seed for the first time. I don't think they're going to be short on focus, and they're going to absolutely destroy them. They are going to pound them. And I don't want them to. I would much prefer if UND won. That'd be great. But I have no faith in the Fighting Hawks right now. So I think they get beat bad enough they drop out of the polls. I think they're going to get beat by 3 scores.
Dan's my pick advisor tonight. I love it.
What is this? Why are people trying to help Ben?
Man, I really want to take UND because I feel like there is a chance. I feel like USD. I don't know.
I think you should take UND. You should do it.
I mean,
You got
like in the
risk
early,
it for the biscuit, buddy.
I'm thinking about the early days of SDSU's seed hopes when I feel like the players would start to get it in their heads and they'd think about it too much and then they would just lay an egg.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna put the faith in that. I got a gut feeling, and I also need to make up picks. So we're gonna go with UND in this one.
Hey, defense is always a surer bet than offense, and I will take just South Dakota's defense every time. For the record, God, who made the comment about not liking UNI as the 8th seed?
I do.
That very, very well. Yeah, Zach Larson says Sam Herder had UNI as an 8th seed in his bracket. Not a fan of that. That very much could happen. I can see him getting up to a 7th seed if they win out, and I think that's very possible as long as they don't stumble on this Missouri State game. If they win out, they've got a really strong argument for a seed. They really do. That's a sneaky pick. So.
Would you be scared of them coming back to Brookings? Because I think that's what Zach's
I don't know if I'd be
not a fan
scared.
of that.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd be scared. But I would prefer not to see them. I'd prefer they get the 7th seed.
Yeah, scared's not the right word, but I of all the teams that could be the 8th seed right now, they definitely are not like who I would want to come here.
Of all the games that we've won by multiple scores, that one really got out of hand fast on UNI. And it's one of those games where you look back and it was a bunch of turnovers and things snowballed on them. And it doesn't feel like necessarily the best representation of them. Brian Thompson, you're watching us Jack Clowns in Mexico on a beach because we're awesome. So we're obviously, we routinely go against Monday Night Football on the B teams and win. So, I mean, why wouldn't we beat Mexico in beaches? You should be out getting beaches. I mean, I don't know what you are doing listening to us. Unless we bring the beaches in, then God bless you. Keep at it.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like you and I, only because history, because of that that loss that we had to them in the playoffs, that's still got a bad taste from that, and I wouldn't want to see them come in, but I just don't know. I mean, I think like Seth says here, it's not that scary, but it's not going to be as easy as the first one, 100%. Like you said, I mean, turnovers got that game out of control quick. It likely wouldn't go that way again. It's not that different from the NDSU game we just had, where they had 3 turnovers that, if they play a clean game, like we talked about, it would have been a close, tight game. Maybe even a 1-score game, honestly. I mean, it's hard to know, how those possessions would have went without turnovers. But, yeah, I mean, if a team plays a team like UNI or NDSU has the talent, plays a clean game against us, they have a chance. It's just that if they turn the ball over that much, they just have no chance against us. So anyway, yeah, Dustin says it's hard to beat a team twice in the season. For sure. Dan says not scared, but would rather play a Sac State or something. Yeah, I mean, there are plenty of teams that we could play at the 8th seed that I would rather play. Next game, we've got number 10 Southern Illinois trying to bounce back against number 14 NDSU, also trying to bounce back. This is a big game. If NDSU loses this game, there's gonna be real nervous going into that last game against UNI. NDSU is only favored by 7.5 at home. What does the model say?
Says Bison by 8.7, so the model will take the Bison. I don't know. I don't have a lot of faith in Nick Baker right now or anyone else on that SIU offense. They're just so inconsistent. At the same time, like we talked about with the little brother battle matchup, defense travels, and SIU has maybe the best defense in not just the Missouri Valley, but the country right now. So that's kind of tough. I don't know. Give me the Bison. I've got burned on it personally, like every time I picked them, so they have to be right one of these times.
Yeah, I'm gonna go and take NDSU on this one here because Southern Illinois' defense is good and they'll be capable of stopping them for a while. But Southern Illinois' offense has been such a disaster, and so hot and cold. If Nick Baker shows up, then by all means, they certainly have the defense to be able to win this game. But I don't know if I see their offense able to travel in there and be successful to enough of a degree that they're able to keep their defense off the field, because their defense will hold up for a half, but if they're getting leaned on by NDSU running quarterback power all game, then NDSU is going to end up walking on them. And they're going to win by 14. So I'm going to take the homeless cows at home. I just don't have any faith in Southern Illinois' offense, mostly because of Baker Mayfield, to be honest. That offense goes as he goes, and he has been going like crap.
He has eligibility left.
Does he?
Who, Baker Mayfield?
Oh, did I say Baker Mayfield? Oh my God. Oh my God. We do too many of these a week.
Well, this what happens.
Baker,
That's
too.
what happens when you do 2 hours on Saturday night. You run out of gas by Wednesday.
Right.
All right. Man, I really want to pick SIU in this one. What's that?
Taking the playoff.
I really want to pick SIU in this one because I think they can keep it within 7, and the spread's 7.5. But man, SIU's offenses just look so bad, and if it wasn't for the fire and the fight that NDSU showed last week, I would probably take SIU, but I think I saw enough from NDSU that I think going back home, getting in front of their crowd again, I think they have enough momentum to win this game. God, I'm tempted because I feel like they can just win by 7, and I'm going to be mad that I didn't take it. But
it's going to depend on if NDSU is still mentally in it. There was a weird vibe about that post-game press conference.
It was like the players weren't ready to give up, but Entz was. It was really bizarre.
Yeah.
They and I don't know. It just had, it almost seemed a little bit like Cam was talking to the rest of the team too, saying we need to be positive, we need to stay together. Instead of those, they didn't sound like just coach speak clips. Like it sounded like he was trying to send a message to the locker room or something, which is odd. They certainly didn't give up in that game, but I don't know if it just had a weird vibe. I don't know if it means anything, but God, I don't know.
Yeah, I got to stick with NDSU. I still have faith in them. And like you said, I just don't know that SIU's offense is going to do enough. But I don't know. Their defense might keep them in the game. Last but not least, we've got number 1, SDSU, going to number 16, Youngstown State. As we've talked about in the podcast, this is a scary game. It's a tough place to play. We've got a weird time for the game. The spread, however, is 16.5.
Oof.
It's just a lot.
Nope.
It's a spicy meatball. What does the model say?
Model says 16.8. So model will take the good guys. I'm inclined to believe it. I've been sipping the Kool-Aid all year, and I guess I'll continue to do so. That secondary just continues to get burnt. We've got 4 really good pass catchers. We've got a really good offensive line that, yes, their front 4 is solid, but we can lean on them enough to keep them honest. And I don't think that's something we've talked about this year, is how much our secondary has just progressed. Dyshawn Gales has still been Dyshawn Gales, and it's almost like, where do you throw the ball? Because on the other side, it seems like every game Dallas makes 2 or 3 huge plays.
Yeah, with how the secondary's been playing and everything, and just how this team has always performed and always done what they're supposed to do, I want to take SDSU, but I'm not going to. I am going to take the Penguins because that is so many points. Holy shit. I'm gonna shut up, Ben. Just shut up. I'm just gonna have to be better than you and the rest of them, which I've done so far. Lord have mercy if this hurts me. But yeah, no, I'm gonna take the Penguins. It's a lot of points. My brain tells me that I should pick SDSU in this one just because Youngstown likes to chuck the ball around, high octane offense, and I have all the faith in the world of the defense, especially after Jimmy doesn't give them a defensive player of the week because he's pissed. I have all the faith in the world in them to come out with their hair on fire. Just, I don't know, weird stuff happens in Youngstown, and all the reasons we've been talking about all week that make me nervous about this game. And yes, everybody says I'm always nervous. That's my thing. That's what I do. I'm genuinely nervous, and I'm nervous that I'm nervous that I feel like I should be picking us. So now I'm feeling confident that I'm not. I don't know. So give me long way of saying just give me the Penguins and whatever. Here's your free one, Ben. I guess.
To answer Ariel's very good question, very relevant to the show. How many times has SDSU covered the spread this year? SDSU is 5-4-1 against the spread based on the spreads that we have. Based on the closing line, that's a different story that I haven't kept track of. But right around 500 on the spread. Yeah, you saw my grin. You saw my excitement. I'll take SDSU. I think that, oh my God, we almost, well, first of all, we got multiple problems here. First of all, we got to talk about at least one of our sponsors.
This is covered by, this is Cubbies. This is a Cubbies show.
Well, we won't talk about that.
Well, you can burgle curds at Cubbies. They have those there too.
Yeah.
This is true. You can burgle some curds at Cubbies. This show is brought to you by Cubbies, the best sports bar and grill in Brookings, South Dakota. Go there for all your Jackrabbit sports needs. The coaches show is tomorrow night if you want to go check that out. It's still not that cold out, or I think the patio might be open when it's sunny. I'm not totally sure though. I could be lying, but anyway, go check out Cubbies. It's the best spot. Ariel, I'm not saying that's quite the assumption there.
How's that shoe taste that you're putting in your mouth, buddy?
What did I even say? I don't think I said anything
Ben's
close to that.
Brandon in trouble.
He's not getting me into trouble at all. I'm fine. But also, Cubbies, go there when the women's soccer team plays their tournament game. I'm sure they will have that on there on Friday. Go there for the Youngstown State game this week. I do believe they have specials and all that stuff going on during the Jacks game. Dan is wrong. That's fine. We have 9 weeks of proof to show that Ben is not going to gain 3 games on me this week. I don't think Ben's gained 3 games on me in any week.
Dan's keeping notes. I like it.
Dan is the Ben fan club tonight. What the hell? Dan, we're not getting along anymore. What is this?
All right. So before I make my pick, we have to hit JIAI, which has apparently been hijacked from us. But I'm going to keep it going on our show. I have important things to show. So let me go ahead and share my screen.
What is that? Like, it looks like an Indian food market.
It's Jackrabbits the anime.
It's JIA.
Ben's a weeb.
South Dakota State.
It looks like JJA pie. Is it a circle?
They're the Japarta Jackalbits. Anyway, there's your title slide for the week. I got to throw a new one of those in every week.
This was Claire's submission over my shoulder here.
Well, I can't see it, so I'm going to have to trust you. I have a new Jackrabbits on Top of the Mountain, which is pretty cool.
I like that.
I have this. I tried to get Jackrabbits on the Top of the Mountain, and then
why are you throwing horns?
I know
bad AI.
That's bad. almost threw my computer out like Ron Swanson here. I could not believe it, and I threw up in my mouth a little bit when it happened.
You didn't have to show everybody.
But
I
I
like
did
that.
get. I love the sad fan. This guy's got a nose ring too, which is amazing.
He does.
Yeah, sad Bison fans always good. Sad crying Bison always plays. The Bice Fallons, love it. This week's Jackrabbit Illustrated guy that I emulated in AI is none other than the Podfather.
Naturally.
This is it's not as good as the Matt Fathead, but I did like what it came up with. I couldn't get it to come up with a human version, so I just went with the rabbit version. But it's pretty cool. For this week's matchup, we're playing the Penguins. We've got a Jackrabbit trying to drown a penguin in the pool. Like a baby penguin. Yeah, there's a Jackrabbit putting the penguin to sleep. And last but not least, what do you think he's doing?
We don't need to talk about it. His right hand is in an uncomfortable position. Let's put it that way. That is awkward.
Not on a penguin. That's a penguin's belly, sicko.
Yeah,
all right.
I don't know.
Moving on.
A penguin.
Last but not least, I've got a Jackrabbit punching a penguin straight in the mouth, and that's
an open mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah, take it kind of literal, don't you think?
Keep that mouth closed. All right.
Chill, son. Can't let you get close.
That is it this week for JIAI. All right, we officially went. What?
Krull asks anything from National Signing Day. Yes, check the Twitter pages. I don't know. Matt is our National Signing Day for football guy. None of us follow recruiting for soccer or wrestling. Matt or Chad does, but it was all Olympic sports today. So you can see all the recruits they signed. Women's basketball. It's just not my jam. I don't have knowledge on it. So
big signing we got for wrestling today was Logan Swenson. So it was somewhat expected. That's Cale Swenson, our current 157-pounder returning national qualifier, ranked preseason number 13. That'd be his younger brother, who's pretty highly rated recruit like Cale himself was. So that was a nice get to throw that out there, but I didn't follow basketball much at all. Also, on the off chance, I doubt he is, but happy 21st birthday, Cale Swenson. The wrestling page shared that as well today.
Basketball did get a couple of recruits. I forget the one's name, but the other one you cannot forget his name. Stoney Hadnot, all-time name coming into the Jackrabbit program for basketball.
God, I hope he's a stud just for the name.
Right. Yes, Rev. Next week. Well, I still have to do Chad and Dallas, so I'm probably gonna have to get to you after those two, but I will get to you and the other FCS guys. All right. With that, I need to make my pick, which I think I already gave up, but it's going to be SDSU. I like that the slight that Jimmy made by not listing a defensive player of the week. I think the defense is going to be fired up, and I think Youngstown State's only going to score 10 or less, and I see us scoring 30. So with that, I'll pick the Jacks to cover. And with that makes all our picks. And yes, I'm going to gain 3 on Brendan this week. It's going to be great.
Sure.
And then I'll have less ground to cover for the rest of the year.
For sure.
But, all right. Well, thanks for tuning in, everybody. As always, there it is. Thank you, Jim. Go big, go blue, go Jacks.
Go Jacks.
Wow, you were late on that one.